I'm mainly a wedding and portrait photographer. By no means am I a dedicated cinematographer or filmmaker, but I challenged myself a few days ago to go out and make a film and see what I can come up with. So I gave myself like 45 minutes to come up with some stuff. ChatGPT helped, I'm not gonna lie. And if you've seen my most recent short film, The Letter, then you'll see kind of the finished product. But on today's video, I just want to talk through my shot selection and my processes on getting the look that I got. So we're going to hop into the computer here, and as you see, this is the opening scene. This is me walking in to the kitchen, obviously. I had to turn that down so you're not seeing that, but I'll let this play through. But the opening scene, basically I got this wide shot of the, well, more so dining room, but I got this opening shot of the dining room kitchen so you can tell where I am. So I just wanted to get a wide establishing shot so you saw where I am. And I feel like in any type of movie or documentary or whatever, there's always going to be an establishing shot to tell where you are. And then the next scene, I wanted to punch in and get a closer view of what I was doing. So you see me rummaging through the drawer. Every household has a junk drawer, I think. But, going through the junk drawer, top down shot, and this is going to see what I found, letter to my future self. And this shot here, or any type of angle, I pause on the craziest frame, but any type of angle that's like down shooting up, I love for whatever reason. And I think it's just because it just adds some drama to the scene, and it just makes obviously the subject look bigger. So I just like having the camera down shooting up in this type of scene. Now this is one of my favorite shots of the entire project because of the fact of I had to get creative. So if you look back here where the cursor is, you see there's some plants back here, then you see the sun coming in through the window, add some texture on the background, then you see a little bit of light over here as well. So this shot, I like this shot a lot because of the fact that this over here with the sun coming through the blinds, that's not actually the sun. The sun is actually coming. So if you look at my face here, the sun's actually coming from behind the camera. That's where all the natural light is coming from. And even then the sun wasn't even that strong to illuminate my face fully. So what I did is I took my cob light, my CX100 cob light, and I turned it all the way down to the lowest setting it could go, 2300 Kelvin or 2700 Kelvin, whatever it is, and to mimic sunlight. So this is nothing but motivated light. So when it comes to filmmaking, cinematography and stuff like that, lighting and motivated light is going to be, a big part of setting your scene and really adding some dimension and depth to the shot. So this shot here, that's why I said it's one of my favorite, because I was like, oh my gosh, like I can set it outside. Now I got this from Mark Bone and, the whole motivated light thing. Mark Bone is goated. But this shot here, I don't know. I just wanted to be creative. So I lit this candle in the scene initially. So when I was walking into the frame initially at the beginning of the scene, or the beginning of the movie, whatever you want to call it, I intentionally lit this candle because I knew I was going to get this shot. And I don't know what this shot really portrays other than like I'm reading a letter, kind of time is passing, chilling, candle. I don't know. I just thought it was a cool shot. So that's why I got it. Another one, punch in. I think I switched to my 85 on this one. The rest of it was being shot with a 24-70, but I shot on the 85 in this one because wanted to get a punch in, a close-up shot to really illuminate and focus on the eyes that I'm really focused on reading this letter. And I think that's a pretty cool shot to me. And then in the background, as you see, this is all motivated light from my cob light, the CX100. It was daylight outside, but it wasn't even close to being bright enough to lighten the scene. So I needed some extra light. So I'm glad, I got the cob light in there. And another overhead shot. This was just a simple keyframe from left to right on Final Cut Pro. Are you still chasing your dreams? This one here, this shot was just showing more of the letter, but I kind of wanted people to try and start reading that last sentence, which is the clock is ticking. And that's when I added in the sounds of the clock ticking. And I got a shot of the clock. And then right here, and this is all manual focus too, so it was kind of hard to manual focus by yourself. It's tough. So back here, this is just me sitting back, realizing what I just read, and again, motivated light. And I honestly added that scene in solely because I wanted to break up because it was too long. The initial scene there was too long, so I just wanted to break it up. Going to the bathroom, just me looking in the bathroom mirror. And if you haven't watched the video, there is a voiceover, an entire voiceover over this entire film. So if you think I just made, this film and you're like, oh, this really makes sense, there's a voiceover on this as well. So left the bathroom. I walked really heavy, so the camera was shaking. But this turned out not terrible, but the framing is a little bit off. I'm sitting on the right third, and I want it to be more so in the middle, but it's not terrible. It ended up working out a little bit. I got this shot here solely again to break it up, to break up the writing scene. So I just wanted to, get me writing. I didn't want to have the viewer, sitting there watching me write for all of whatever I wrote. I think I just scribbled, if I remember. Yeah, I just scribbled some. I didn't even write legible words. But then I folded this, and then I have my little top-down shot. Again, you see up in the top left corner, some warmth coming in from the cob light, the motivated light, and this is just illuminating the scene well. This entire shot, or the entire project or whatever, was graded with my Lut, which you can find on a website, and that's just, boom, another keyframe here, zooming in. But yeah, that's it. But this entire film was graded with my custom Lut, which you can find on my website. It's called AETHER. So you saw that it had a lot of greens, but also it was warm. It was really nice on the skin tone. So I really do like it. So you can go down in the description, go to our website, and go to the For Creatives tab, and you can purchase my AETHER Lut. I do have another Lut that I'm working on to be able to sell, and that is a Sable Lut, and that is what I use to grade this footage that you're watching now. And you can watch a bunch of my other videos in studio, and I use a Sable Lut in just about everything. But with that being said, when it comes to cinematography, videography, or filmmaking, it doesn't have to be hard. It can be really simple. I just used one light, and then the rest was natural light. I did have to crank my ISO just a little bit. Base ISO on a Sony a7 IV is the 800, but I think I went to 3200, sometimes even 4000. And, it's when you put yourself to the challenge and you use limited gear, you'd be surprised at what you can come up with. So hopefully this video inspired y'all to just try something and say, hey, I haven't done a lot of filmmaking or haven't done a lot of cinematography, but I'm just going to try and make something. Use ChatGPT to give you an idea of the story. So ChatGPT, I said, hey, give me a story and for me to make a film out of. And it said, hey, this person looked at a letter and, reminiscent, whatever. I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go out and try it. And I did. And this is the final project. So give yourself like 45 minutes or, an hour somewhere in your house, make a film. And use motivated lighting and use what you have at your disposal, and try not to use a whole bunch of gear, and just see what you can come up with. Just try and be creative, because a lot of times when we have too many options, we get less creative. When you have less options, we get more creative. So if you only have one light, you have no choice but to be creative. But if you have 19 different lights and options, you can set them up all over the place, and it gets overly complicated. But you can get a proper image, but it's just you're overcomplicating it, and for what, So hopefully this inspires y'all to go out and create something. And yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments, and if this inspired you, let me know down in the comments as well. Hopefully this helped, and until next time, y'all be good. Peace.